Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's Once Upon a Time, Season 3, Episode 15. We're back once again. Again, keep taking breaks between episodes, and this is like partly me, partly not me. It's partly life, partly depression, partly maybe it would be better suited doing this tomorrow, but then it ends up not being better suited doing this tomorrow, and oh my gosh, this whole year has just been a disaster for trying to be productive and failing at it miserably, and I'm very sorry about that. I know it sounds ridiculous after so little activity this year to say I'm trying, because it sounds so insincere, but that's the thing with mental health. Like I don't like talking about it, but in the sort of depression that I'm constantly in, it's one of those things where everything to do with basic living is effort. Like, it is a tremendous effort to even get out of bed, to cook something, to do something that needs to be done. Like getting through day to day is effort. And like, you've got to consider the fact that doing all of this, it's like a step on top of it. So I have to be in my best spirits before I watch an episode. I have to be in my best spirits before I set my camera, my YouTube lighting, my microphone. Like, it's all things I have to motivate myself into, and it wears you down. It really does. Okay, I got through it, and then something in the back of your mind stops you from picking up where you left off the next day, because it's like, oh well, we just went through all that effort. Let's take the brakes. Just put the brakes on a little bit, and that runs away. That runs away from you and sets you back. You have to find within you all over again that fire to say, okay, let's do this. Let's turn this on. Let's turn this on. Let's do this. Let's go. Like, you have to be in your best mood, and that's very rare these days for me, and I am trying to get better with that, but it's hard. It really is. And I just thought I'd give you guys a little insight as to the inconsistency with what I want to do and what's actually happening. Like, there's a lot of Owl House content that I want to be making right now that the first special of Season 3 came out. But in the back of my head, I was like, no, I can't really do that, because I want to focus on getting some reactions uploaded first. And meanwhile, the channel is ticking by with nothing public on it, and I'm like, oh my god. So then that just makes me feel guilty, which then brings my mood down. And as we previously established, if my mood isn't up, I can't record. So I often trap myself in this loop of, oh, I feel so bad that I'm not uploading. And then because I feel bad, the conditions for actually making new content are harder to come by, because I spend too much time feeling sorry for myself. Isn't that something? But yeah. So basically I thought I'd give you guys some more insight into what actually happens with me and why it's so much of an effort for me to upload. And all I ask is that you keep being supportive, keep understanding, and we will get through this series eventually. We will. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. But yeah, as for Once Upon a Time, as I've said in a lot of this season's Once Upon a Time reactions, the main thing I love about this show is how consistently great and entertaining it actually is. That means that every time I come back into the fray and want to start recording again, I never think of watching anything else. It's always, let's watch another episode of Once Upon a Time, because that is sure to bring me back. That is sure to give me a big injection of good feelings, because I know I've watched something that I really enjoy. That feeling is hard to replace as a pick-me-up in any circumstance. Like, you watch an episode of a show that you're passionate about, that you're really fan of, and, you know, it's just giving you all those good feelings. It's a rewarding experience every time. And I like to feel rewarded, you know, upon coming back, like, yes, this is what you want to do. This is giving you a good feeling. This is propelling you forward. And Once Upon a Time is one of the best shows on the market for that kind of feeling. And so, I'm looking forward to getting that kind of feeling again. Last episode ended with us as in Emma's group, discovering the location where Rumpel was being held captive, but he is now gone, assumingly evacuated by Selena and taken to a different location, because she seems aware of everything going on, whether that's through monkey spies or through her own witch's powers. So she knew to get him out of there because they were hot on the trail of discovering something. And obviously David had that super compelling battle over his fear. And I was told by Heidi that the fandom don't really think much of that episode. And we both came to the conclusion that if the fandom can call what was still a pretty great episode of TV one of the worst episodes of the show, I think that really speaks highly of the quality of the show, which makes me look forward to everything that's coming next. So let's go. Wow. My confusion aside, which I think I sorted out, that was so fun. Oh my goodness. And I don't mean to say that as in, well, R.I.P. Bozo in Neil's direction. That's not where I intend to go with that at all. I just mean fun as in an entertaining piece of television that, oh my gosh. You know, all of the praise that I give to Once Upon a Time, this episode is like a perfect summation of everything I love about the show. We had the fairy tale incorporation with Lumiere and stuff like that. We had the laughter and some jokes. We had some ribbing and banter. We had some sweetness. We had some, like, you know, like Regina and Robin. And Hook getting his moment with Neil, like to say what he'd always wanted to say and give him that hug. Like, oh, yeah, we had the heartfelt elements. We had sacrifice, you know. We had emotion with the death and everything that was going on. And we had top tier villainy with Zelina and everything she was doing. We had the twists, which is what, like, kept blowing my mind and sent me on a path of confusion. Like, and overall, everything felt like it came together very well. Like, this did not feel like it had the runtime that it did. I didn't want this episode to end, if I'm going to be honest, because it was nailing everything that it wanted to do. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Oh my, Once Upon a Time, you keep doing this. You have to stop. Please don't stop. You have to stop. Please don't stop. Like, Zelina as a villain, this rapid trajectory of just completely elevating how I view her as a villain, episode by episode. Like, she is absolutely fantastic. She is doing such a good job of living up to the standards set by season 1 Regina. She really is. This manipulation, this Rumpelstiltskin like manipulation, like, oh my gosh. Like, it's almost a shame that she was set up as a rival to Regina, and just make her a straight up rival to Rumpel. But speaking of Rumpel, I like how we got a really logical explanation for his deranged state, but also a believable reason. I like how disregard the believable reason. I like how we gave a real consequence for actually bringing Rumpel back. You see, when it comes to things like this, just like with all magic, as they say, everything comes with a price. And I think for people's sacrifices to still carry weight, meaning, you can't just bring them back the same as getting a refund at a store. You can't treat it as a casual thing. So when Rumpel was first revealed as being revived and he was sat in that cage, there was a part of me that thought, did we need to do this? Like, I know he's a great actor, great character. I would never complain about having him back, but like so soon after he did sacrifice himself, I thought we're in danger of cheapening it if there's not a good explanation. And what does Once Upon a Time do? It does what it always does, and it answers my expectations by the truckload. Like, anything that I could have expected was trumped. Like, they come through with the goods. Like, it has not been cheapened in my eyes. Like, it literally cost his son his own life to bring back his father. Like, a life for a life, that's reasonable. That doesn't cheapen anything. In fact, it was a very sweet full circle moment. As Neil himself said, he was like, hey, you did it. Now it's my turn. And I'm going to be watching over. Like, from wherever I go. I really like that. I do. I mean, I don't like that he's had to be, written out of the show or whatever. But obviously he had kind of overstayed his welcome as like the wedge between Hook and Emma, and the whole thing with trying to be a dad to Henry and stuff like that. He was kind of in the way. So I guess I know why they had to remove him at some point. But I gotta say, the way they decided to go about it, I'm not complaining. I actually think this was done really well. This was, of all the ways they could have had it happen, repaying his father's sacrifice that's good. That is very good. I will give them that. That really, ooh, yes, that did bring a tear to my eye, as I'm sure the cameras will show. Like, because, oh my gosh, like, why does that always have to happen to Emma, by the way? Like, not to take anything away from Neil literally dying, but from Emma's perspective, every time she reunites with him, something bad happens to him. It's like, please just stop reuniting with me. Well, now he's done it for the final time, and oh my goodness. Another big scene in the episode that I really do want to talk about is how sweet and earned it felt when Hook was like, he's just gonna drop the bravado. Just come here. I want to hug you. You're past all this Emma bullshit. I still see you as the young lad I took care of for so long and considered part of his family. Like, I'm really glad that their time on the ship together was acknowledged. I really am. Like, oh, that must have been so cathartic for the both of them. It was cathartic for me. But what a scene. I don't know, it was so earned. And it hit me out of nowhere because I didn't think that's the direction the scene was going to go. I thought they'd get into a silly little hospital fight. Like, I'll make you move. But no, because now knowing what we know, Neil was going to die, and so unbeknownst to Hook, that was the time to get his feelings out. Like, oh, I would feel so much worse in Hook's shoes if I was thinking about saying that kind of thing to him and he died before I got the chance to. That would always, that words left unsaid is one of the biggest daggers in the heart anyone can have when they lose someone close to them. Like, oh my gosh. So the fact that Hook was able to do it, he was able to have that sweet moment of reconciliation, I'm so happy for him. I mean, obviously there's going to be a period of mourning to go through now in the immediate aftermath, but I'm just saying, in a general level, like, oh my gosh, Hook. Like, that was so well done. Excellent scene. That's still probably my favorite scene throughout the entire episode. It was so well done. And then obviously all of the convoluted stuff going on to do with the fusing of the souls and stuff like that, and then how they had to be separated and stuff. As I said, got no problem with that. That was all very poetically tied back in. But the Lumiere thing with the fire, not only was that a cool visual effect and kind of mirrored how Sydney was trapped inside the mirror, the genie, like seeing a face. It's like, hey, I'm like him, but I'm in fire instead of mirrors. But I do like how there was some plausible, how plausible it was that he was still part of Belle and Rumpel's story, because it was based on a character from Beauty and the Beast, Lumiere. But in the end of the day, it was Zelena manipulating someone to manipulate someone else, and the layers of manipulation. She's such a good villain. Oh my goodness. And then I really love that Belle got her moment. I really love that, because she's always known as the smart cookie. Like, obviously, it's not really a moment of genius to be like, well, actually, that was only made within the last years. But you know what I actually mean. You know, and like, she had that chance to show that she wasn't just going along with things. Like, she was actually listening to what was being said and was like, objection! Like, Phoenix Wright style. I just really appreciated that. I really appreciated that she got that moment of, hang on a minute, almost like she was directly contradicting what Zelena said, you know, about how she's not as smart as she thinks she is. Well, I guess your flame buddy, Mr. Lumiere, wasn't as smart as you thought he was either, because that library was not 200 years old. But wow, okay, yeah. Then of course, poor Henry, like, for now, he doesn't realize, like, the full weight of what's just happened, but at least Emma has told him as much as he can handle to hear right now. I'm looking forward to seeing how Henry's thoughts will change once he has his full memory back. If we are going to give him his memory back, I hope we will. But for now, I really like how Emma's handling bringing the truth to him. I think this is going very well. Oh my gosh. So the gang know who Zelena is now. Okay, that's been established. And of course, poor Mary Margaret playing catch up, like, what? Like, but she's so nice. Like, why wouldn't I be okay? She's in the bathroom. Why are you panicking? Like, but Zelena, being the smart cookie that she is, escaping out the window and stuff. But, okay, very interested to see where things go from here, because now Rumpel is directly under her control. That must be why she had to keep him caged up, because he wasn't under her full control yet. That's only just clicked with me right now. That is very smart writing. Like, because at first I was wondering, what's the purpose to keeping him just down here? Like, what are you actually going to do with him aside from letting him spin straw into gold? Like, what are you actually going to do with him? Are you just storing him here? Like, now it all makes sense. She didn't have full control over him, and that's why she had to keep him contained, like, physically. I'm starting to understand that that's exactly what that was. But now that she has full control, that cage will no longer be necessary. Got it. But yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be a whole new ball game, isn't it? Like, they've essentially got Rumpel after them now. So the power of 2 powerful witches. So Regina better be ready to help us defend, because right now she's a bit distracted with these budding feelings for Robin, and they must surely know deep down that there's something missing to do with each other in regards to that year that they lost. And Regina did recognize the tattoo from that moment. So it's going to be interesting. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this episode is right up there as one of my favorites of season 3 so far. This did so much, and so much was done so well. I'm blown away. This was everything that I want in a Once Upon a Time episode, and I was told that the second half doesn't let up of this season. Like, oh yeah, Luffy, you enjoyed so much of this first half. You were raving about how good it is, but oh, trust me, the second half. And I see what you mean. I see what you mean, and how this season is just completely consistent the whole way through and being awesome. I get it. I really do. Like, wow. Oh boy. But yeah, I did not expect to be coming back to Neil's death. I really didn't. But at the end of the day, thanks to the execution, I can't really be mad. That's probably the worst part about it. That's all from me, and I shall see you guys next time.